Detective Ace. On a beautiful day in Cornstone Town, a 14-year-old named Ace was casually walking along the road, his eidetic memory diligently capturing every detail that met his gaze. Ace was no ordinary boy, as soon became apparent when he confronted an individual who appeared to be a beggar but was in fact an undercover police officer. Ace insightfully remarked on the poor quality of the officer's disguise, explaining that the officer had failed to thank him for a coin, appeared frustrated, hated his sitting posture, indicating a backache, and possessed lips that were not rugged and a beard that was remarkably clean, unlike most beggars. Furthermore, Ace pointed out that the brown patches on the officer's face and body were not dirt but turpentine, a chemical with the formula C10H16 used for various purposes, including making shoe polish. The most significant giveaway, according to Ace, was the earpiece the officer repeatedly touched with his forefinger. Ace also noted that the officer's partner nearby made equally obvious he was a cop due to the shape of a gun protruding from beneath his shirt. As Ace began to walk away, the astonished cop, whose name was Mark, called out to him, questioning if Ace thought he was smart. Ace corrected him, stating, "No, I am not smart. Smart is boring. I am sharp." Mark, despite his reluctance to discuss police matters with a kid, confided in Ace about a persistent shoplifter who had been troubling the community for several days. He mentioned a recent theft at a store where no one was seen exiting with the stolen goods. Ace immediately identified a lady with her apparent husband as the culprit. He explained that she was not truly pregnant. Her baby bump was actually where the loot was concealed. Ace's keen observations included the fact that while the man wore a wedding ring, the woman did not, nor did she even have a ring mark on her ring finger. He further noted that both individuals were sweating profusely on such a pleasant day, concluding that this was not due to the weather but worry. Additionally, he observed that she had dropped an earpod and wanted to pick it up, but the man had prevented her from doing so. Mark was astounded, realizing Ace had not just seen but truly observed everything. Ace then urged Mark not to lose them, confidently asserting that the woman indeed had the stolen goods, which was confirmed when she was apprehended. Soon after, a more pressing crisis emerged. Mrs. Three children had gone missing on 3 consecutive days, each disappearance marked by a note that simply stated, "Find me if you can." The kidnapper appeared to be taunting the police, who had exhausted all leads, checking surveillance cameras, checkposts, and passenger logs of trains and flights without success. The situation worsened when news broke that the mayor's wife had also gone missing since morning, and the same distinctive note had been discovered with no leads, and the media, soon to be aware a desperate measure was considered. Mrs. bringing in a civilian to help. Despite initial objections about protocol, the police chief agreed, recognizing the dire circumstances of the missing children and the urgency of the situation. Ace was the civilian in question, and he successfully convinced his parents to allow him to assist in the investigation by explaining the plight of the missing children. Ace and Officer Mark proceeded to the mayor's house, where other police officers were already present. While Officer Mark focused on asking questions, Ace began his characteristic process of deducing the world around him. The mayor stated that he had woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning to find his wife gone with the note left in her place. Ace inquired about whose medicines were present, to which the mayor replied they were his wife's for type 2 diabetes. Ace immediately deduced that this meant she experienced increased urination during the night due to her high blood sugar levels, a fact the mayor confirmed. The entire room watched as Ace then went into the washroom, looked around, and then walked out, announcing their next destination, Mrs. the police station. He needed to examine all the notes and surveillance tapes on the way. He requested an apple to eat at the police station. Ace meticulously analyzed the evidence. He observed that all the notes were written on the same paper with the same ink, He noted that 3 children and 1 woman had gone missing in the exact same manner from their bedrooms in the middle of the night, yet no cameras had captured them or the kidnapper. Despite doubts from Mark and another officer about his abilities, Ace suddenly had a breakthrough. He asked Mark the age of the mayor's wife, which was 50. With renewed urgency, Ace declared they needed to leave immediately and insisted on returning to speak with the mayor again, asking Mark to make a crucial call. Ace's direct, almost commanding tone with the mayor, as if he were a superior officer, was met with surprise. Upon their return to the mayor's house, Ace directed attention to a specific wall next to a bookshelf. He explained that sound is a mechanical vibration which, when it strikes a wall, causes the wall to vibrate and subsequently makes the air on the other side of the wall vibrate. He clarified that while a good solid wall would not disperse vibrations excessively, this particular wall had been dampened by water. Despite skepticism from the mayor, Ace insisted that this indicated a secret basement underneath, asserting that vibrations do not lie and in fact help in tracing things. The eyes cannot see, much like many animals utilize them. He then pointed out that the mayor consistently stood in the same exact spot near that bookshelf every time they had been there, suggesting it was a hidden door. Just as Ace had deduced, the police found the secret basement through the bookshelf, which indeed functioned as a secret door. Inside, they discovered the children tied to chairs, and the mayor's wife was also present, instructing the children to eat or their mummy would be very angry. The mayor and his wife were promptly arrested. The police chief, Suff. T. In explanation for Ace's remarkable deduction, Ace elaborated that there were several books on motherhood and children on the bookshelf, which hinted at the mayor's wife's motive. Mrs. She had always wanted to be a mother but never could, attributing her inability to bad luck. Regarding the kidnappings themselves, Ace explained the mayor's meticulous scheme. Although the surveillance cameras appeared to show nothing, they actually clearly showed the mayor present at all the locations where the kidnappings took place. He would claim to be there out of concern, yet no one had informed him about the initial kidnapping, and he would arrive immediately after the police reached a crime scene. Ace revealed that the mayor had access to all the cameras in town. He carefully selected houses that had only one camera facing the front. At night, he would sneak into the house through the back, kidnap the child, and hide both himself and the child in his car. When the police arrived in the morning, the mayor would emerge from his hiding spot, feigning concern and a desire to help. After the police left, the mayor would depart with them but return alone after about an hour. He knew that anyone check-in surveillance footage would only review the night of the kidnapping, assuming the next day was irrelevant. If anyone did check, the mayor had a ready excuse: Mrs. He was merely there to empathize and offer moral support, using the situation to his advantage. Ace then revealed the mayor's final ingenious act of deception. As he would be leaving the crime scene with the police, he would pretend his car had broken down and then asked to borrow a police car for an hour, promising to have it delivered back soon. This seemingly innocent act allowed him to leave the house with the kidnapped child right under the parents' noses and the watchful eyes of the police. Ace stated that he had watched the entire surveillance tape and had seen the mayor return, but he hadn't fully understood its significance until an officer used the word luck, at which point it all came together. In the aftermath, the children were happily reunited with their respective families. The mayor and his wife were sentenced to life imprisonment to honor Ace's extraordinary contributions. The police officers held a small function. Ace was now affectionately referred to as Detective Ace, also known as Ace 135, a designation within their detective unit. He was soon assigned an even bigger case, prompting the chief to remark that there was no case this boy could not solve, describing his arrival as like the wind and his disappearance as like a bolt of lightning. Ace's intriguing code name Ace 135 was explained to mean the value of the individual letters in his name. Mrs. A is 1, C is 3, and E is 5, representing consecutive numbers. The chief described the new case involving a suspect dubbed the Invisible Man as different and challenging, but Ace, undaunted, declared it would be fun analysis. The story of Detective Ace provides a compelling exploration of deductive reasoning, observation, and unconventional intelligence. Ace, a 14-year-old boy, embodies an exceptional level of perception that transcends mere smartness, a trait he dismisses as boring, preferring to describe himself as sharp. This distinction is crucial, as his abilities are not merely about accumulating knowledge but about acutely interpreting subtle details and patterns in his environment. His eidetic memory serves as a foundational tool, allowing him to retain every piece of visual information, which he then processes through a highly analytical mind. Ace's initial encounter with the undercover cop Mark immediately establishes his extraordinary observational prowess. He doesn't just see a beggar, he dissects the individual's behavior, posture, physical appearance, and even specific chemical residues such as turpentine, to uncover discrepancies that betray the disguise, the lack of gratitude for a coin, the uncomfortable posture, the unnaturally clean appearance for a beggar, and the telltale touching of an earpiece are all seemingly minor details that, when combined, paint a clear picture for Ace that eludes others. This showcases his holistic approach to problem solving, where no detail is too small to be significant. His resolution of the shoplifting case further solidifies this. The pregnant woman is instantly unmasked by Ace's discerning eye, not through direct evidence but through a series of incongruous observations: the absence of a wedding ring on her finger despite her partner wearing one, the lack of a ring mark, the excessive sweating on a pleasant day indicating stress rather than physical exertion, and the suppressed attempt to retrieve a dropped ear pod all contribute to his conclusion that the baby bump is a mere concealment for stolen goods. This demonstrates his ability to connect disparate pieces of information to form a coherent, accurate narrative. His confidence in his deductions, even when making wild accusations, underlines his self-assured mastery of observation. The central kidnapping case highlights Ace's capacity to handle high-stakes situations and influence seasoned professionals. His involvement, initially met with skepticism from the police, is justified by his unwavering focus and unique insights at the mayor's house. His focus immediately shifts beyond the obvious questions to seemingly peripheral details such as the mayor's wife's diabetes and the implications of increased nighttime urination, which subtly supports his later deductions about the timing and method of the kidnapping. His insistence on reviewing all the notes and surveillance tapes himself rather than relying on existing police analyses shows his reliance on primary information and his unique interpretive framework. The uniformity of the notes, same paper, same ink, is a crucial pattern he identifies, linking the cases together beyond the mere content of the Find Me If You Can message. The dramatic discovery of the secret basement through the analysis of sound vibrations exemplifies Ace's innovative and scientific approach to detection. His explanation of how sound is a mechanical vibration and how a wall dampened by water can indicate a hidden space is not only scientifically accurate but also demonstrates his multidisciplinary understanding. The fact that he observes the mayor's consistent standing position near the bookshelf further reinforces his method of identifying behavioral patterns that betray hidden truths. This moment is a powerful illustration of how Ace uses logic and scientific principles to reveal what is hidden from plain sight. Much like animals use vibrations for navigation and detection, Ace's comprehensive explanation of the mayor's complex kidnapping modus operandi is the culmination of his sharp observation and deductive power. As he systematically breaks down how the mayor with access to town cameras meticulously selected houses with single front-facing cameras to exploit blind spots, the revelation that the mayor would sneak in through the back, hide in his car with the child, and then emerge to feign concern only to return an hour later shows the depth of the mayor's pre-planning and psychological manipulation, the final act of borrowing a police car as a disguise for transporting the child out of the house right under the noses of the parents and police is a testament to the mayor's audacious cunning. Ace's realization that the word luck triggered the final pieces of the puzzle for him demonstrates how his mind constantly processes information, waiting for the right trigger to synthesize seemingly unrelated facts into a complete picture. This is not simply luck, it is the product of continuous meticulous observation and an open mind receptive to new connections. Ultimately, the story establishes Ace as a prodigy in investigative work, earning him the moniker Detective Ace and a place in the detective unit as Ace 135. His code name, derived from the numerical values of his name's letters as consecutive odd numbers, subtly reflects his unique and unconventional approach. He is presented as a force of nature, solving cases with unparalleled speed and precision, like the wind arriving and a bolt of lightning disappearing. And elusive nature of the crimes he will confront. His eagerness for this tough one underscores his intrinsic motivation and joy in solving intricate puzzles, solidifying his role as a truly exceptional detective.